Good morning. My name's Ryan. I sell stuff on eBay that I picked up at thrift stores, yard sales, garage sales, and flea markets and such, and try to flip it for a few bucks online. Got a couple of sales today to talk about, some books, handful of stuff, neat stuff I picked up at thrift store today too. So it was a decent day shopping yesterday. So that's what we're going to jump into. So first up is actual clothing. This is a youth size Adidas tracksuit, blue triple stripe, neat little find. I picked it up for a couple bucks at a yard sale. It's the jacket and the bottom, so that was 25 bucks. Neat find. Glad to have picked it up. That doesn't go there. That goes right here, so I can box it up. And next up is just these books. This will come up. eBay has been finicky a couple of times. The last one, there it is. There we go. These Maze Runner books. It's the whole set. I don't know. This may have been a box set at one point. Just doesn't have a box. 19 bucks for all 5. More I do this sort of thing, the more I'm kind of a firm believer that the whole is greater than the sum of the parts when it comes to book sets. People don't like usually filling holes in their sets. So there are some book sets I'll grab and hang on to because the value's there and because I know I can eventually find all of them. But there's sometimes, like Maze Runner is one of them. I'm not going to buy Maze Runner books unless I have all of them at the same time. I'm just not going to do it. I've actually held on too long, and I want to say I actually sold a set that was like either underpriced or I didn't get as much for it. But this one went for 19 bucks. So that's these I got for a buck a piece. So actually, I may have gotten these 50 cents a piece. They may have counted these as a young adult. So I don't like Maze Runner books. Anyway, so next up, those are my 2 sales there, and then I had some Facebook sales. Facebook sales had one guy buy a big stack of these are all 1980s, early 90s, Mass Comics, Super Pro, the Teddy Ruxpin book, Defenders of the Earth. This actually may be a little rare, but it's not like highly collectible or anything. But I don't think there were that many of those. An X-Men book, and some Jim Henson's Muppet stories. And he bought, I think there was a couple other things real similar that he picked up. I gotta track down. And I had 5 of these I found. I got at Goodwill the other day for like $2 a piece, and he bought the lot of them for like 30 bucks for these and 30 bucks for a stack of books. So 60 bucks for those have been laying around a while, like way too. That's death pile stuff. So you do this long enough, death pile stuff winds up being almost pure profit because you forgot what you paid for it. But most of that stuff was 50 cents a piece, 50 cents to $1 a piece anyway, at best. So that was a good deal there. I also I think I've showed this. I sold these. I'm waiting on somebody to pay. I got this stack of American Girl books. It was like 30, I think 40 bucks for like 14 of them. So it was like $3 a piece plus shipping, and the lady was glad to have those. So that's where that is going. So on to stuff I found, and I want to discuss a couple of things that I listed to get that out of the way. See, some neat finds yesterday. This Richard Scarry's best storybook ever. This is a 1968 book. This looks like this will go between 10 and 15 bucks. It's a clean copy. I've run across a couple of these. The cover's a little worn, but they almost always are on this book. But they're usually, I find there's like a lot of like scribbling in them, and this one's really clean inside. So that's probably going to be able to get me close to $15 on this one. So, but usually you see like crayon or drawing on these because Tyler's scribbling them for. And it's one of those books that just that's the way it happens because kids. So that's that. And then I scored a big bundle. These are Transformers Energon. There's a big bag of these at the last chance. And I wonder why they wound up over there and not. But the smaller, like more basic Transformers, bag full of these. There's more here. There's about 10, 15 of these guys right around here. So, little Bumblebee figure there. And since they're out of production, they may be worth $5, $7, $8 a piece. So I'm gonna lot them all up, probably about the $5 and around $5 a piece. Lot them up, count them up. And see if that's not like maybe a $50, a $30 to $50 find right there. But that'll be, and even if I get 20 something for it, it'll still be a decent haul there. So fun to find. Love it when I find toys, particularly small toys. They're fun to mess around with a little bit. Fun to sell. Easy to backpack and ship. No big headaches there on those. So. That was a neat find. And in that same spot, this may be a $10, $12 pickup truck. It's a Chevy Silverado by Maisto. So that was a neat jacked up pickup truck. That one's pretty cool, is it? Okay, no, it doesn't have the pullback. It's not pullback or friction, but it's still a pretty good find. Let's see. And three other things. Lightning Thief. These particular editions seem to be running up in price a little bit. This is a clean copy of Lightning Thief. I'm gonna put it aside in a box and until I kind of get the whole set together. But this one was such good condition, and it was half price because it stayed on the shelf. So that one's going to go there. I'm going to probably lock this up or put it on Facebook in sort of a horror book group that I'm a part of. I know that it's a buy sell group. It was at the last chance Goodwill, so it was only a quarter, so I didn't even buy it. If I had looked it up, I probably might have left it. But it's one of those, sort of low production paperbacks. I thought it might have been comparable to a Zebra, and it's not. But the Zebra paperbacks are the ones you really want to grab. But so I grabbed it, and I'll throw it on there next time I have a lot of horror books to put on Facebook Marketplace and try to get $3 or $4 for it that way. And finally, Isaac Asimov, Fantastic Voyage. This isn't necessarily a real valuable book. I think it's only worth probably about $3 to $5. But Asimov is a lot up. Is one to lot up and resell. I've had a lot of success putting Asimov books together in lots at $3 to $5 a book on eBay. So I pick up whenever I get an Asimov book for $1 or less. I tend to pick it up. Asimov, Heinlein, occasionally Paul Anderson, and a couple other the old famous authors do okay in that sort of area. And then sometimes if you get the older paperbacks of their stuff, you can sell those individually $10, $15, $20 a piece, or more if you get like first editions or something like that. So. Asimov, I'm going to dig around and see if I don't have a few Asimovs. I may have one or two. And if I have three, I'm going to grab them and put them up for probably start about $15 and see where that goes. Let's see. All right. Listings that I'm kind of messing around with a little bit. I have a box full of old books, and I need to sell them. And there's a couple of like old antique vintage book groups out there on Facebook, and I'm going to try those. So I've got these big stacks of just in these books, just kind of old beat up stuff. But some of these are really pretty. And I also listed these on eBay as decorative. So about $3 to $5 a book is kind of what I'm shooting for there. But I'm also going to list a bunch of those on Facebook Marketplace, $3 to $5 a book, and see if I can see if those will move a little bit. So, and I've got about 30 of those types of books. I almost always, if I get a book before about 1940s, I always got before the war, before about 1950 for $1 or less, I grab it. Particularly if it's nice looking. I will grab it if it's the binding's okay and the cover's fine and there's no, even if there's a little bit of marking on the first couple of pages. But if the binding's good, the binding's good and the cover isn't like completely torn up, then I'll grab it, because most of those books you can get sometimes even $10 a piece for. But usually there's a market for it if you kind of know where it is. If I had a antique store booth, those would be great to put a shelf of them for $5 a piece, and those may move there because people don't just want to read them; they also look good on the shelf sometimes. So decorative books do sell. So that is a couple other things I listed. This is more Death Pally stuff. I've had this for a while listed, so I'm going to put them both together for probably about $15-$20. Master of Kung Fu. This was annoying because I think this one, when I listed it, there was a comp for about $40 or $50 on this, and I got nothing out of it. So, and here's an old Wu-Tang Liquid Sword book. So, I'm gonna put these together. I think I put them on a Facebook group first to see if anybody bit, and if nobody bites on those, put them together. Probably starting about $20 on eBay. See if I can't sell them that way. So, I think that's it for today. Probably not hitting it through. I may go to the library because I gotta look at something. Because my local, I haven't been for a few weeks. My local library has a book sale shelf at 50 cents a piece. So those are so that's real good deals. Sometimes it's one of those. Sometimes if I'm in a hurry, I don't bother looking stuff up, and it's paid off pretty well hitting that one. So that is that today. I'm going to do some more with old books. Going to get these hopefully get these Transformers listed this afternoon, and we will go from there. So have a good day, happy hunting, and y'all be good.